Hello and welcome to this Firequick Products instructional video for our hand-thrown flares. My name is Ross Watson and I'm a member of the team here at Firequick Products in sunny Southern California. Firequick Products is proud to be a US-based manufacturing company making our flares by hand here on site at our facility in the high desert. The Firequick Flare Systems product line is comprised of several flares, flare launcher systems and accessories. We strive to provide our customers with the very best products that are safe, reliable and effective. Our flares are delayed remote ignition devices and are used extensively by wildland firefighting and land management agencies. On ignition, our flares will reach a temperature of around 4,000 degrees and depending on the flare type will spray burning material up to 25 feet. Firequick flares are rugged, high-performance flares that improve user safety when used specifically for backfiring, controlled and prescribed burn operations. The Firequick instructors are not trained professional firefighters. This instructional video's purpose is to train the audience on the safe and correct use of our products. It is not intended to advise when or how to use them operationally. Operators are to follow the standard operating procedures and tactics of their specific organisations. Today's video is an overview of our hand-thrown flares, the Chubby and the Big Shot. Today I'll be covering the characteristics, the recommended field applications, PPE and safe use. And finally you'll see a live field firing demonstration of both flares. The Chubby is a mid-sized flare manually lit and hand-thrown by the user. Lightweight, compact and extremely rugged, this baseball-sized flare is easy to carry and easy to throw. The delay on this flare from lighting the cord to ignition is around 15 seconds. The Firequick Products Chubby will energetically spray 4,000 degree white hot material 8 to 10 feet for several seconds and will continue to burn at a lower temperature until consumed. Little or no residual material will be left afterwards. The effective range is approximately 100 feet depending on the thrower's ability. The lightweight and compact nature of the Chubby flare makes it an excellent option for packing into areas with heavier fuel loads where launching flares is not the best option. The Chubby flare works well in anything from flash to moderately heavy fuels and most fuel conditions. The Chubby flare enables safe and delayed ignition without the operator hiking into difficult terrain positions. A series of Chubby flares can be daisy-chained together to create an effective continuous fire line where needed. The Big Shot is also an incendiary remote ignition device that is manually lit and hand-thrown by the user. This is the largest flare in our range and generates the greatest firepower in the Firequick flare line. The fuse delay from lighting the cord to ignition is 20 to 30 seconds. The Firequick Products Big Shot flare will energetically spray 4,000 degree white hot material 15 to 25 feet for several seconds and will continue to burn at a lower temperature until consumed. Little or no residual material will be left afterwards. The effective range is approximately 100 feet depending on the thrower's ability. The Big Shot is the best choice for difficult fuels in ravines or steep territory. It is very effective in all fuels, particularly wet or heavy fuels. It will effectively create fire in medium canopy fuels. The Big Shot flare will operate in all weather conditions, including high humidity. It is also effective for igniting slash piles. If required, multiple flares can be attached to difficult to ignite fuels such as trees. The recommended PPE when using our hand-thrown flares is eye protection and gloves. The correct sequence for safe deployment of our hand-thrown flares is remove the cap from the flare by puncturing or pulling the cap from the flare body. Full removal of the cap is not required. Pull the red igniter cord out of the top of the flare until it is fully extended. Avoid having crossovers in the cord as this will cause a jump in the ignition trail and reduce delay time. Determine desired placement of the flare before lighting. Always maintain a minimum 40-foot safety zone for flare ignition. Manually light the igniter cord, holding the open end of the flare away from yourself and others. Immediately throw the flare to the desired location. Both flares may be placed where fire is desired prior to lighting. When placing the flare, embed it into the terrain if possible to avoid flare travel once it is ignited. Extend the cord out straight from the flare to eliminate crossover. Once a flare is lit, move immediately at least 40 feet from the flare for safety. A practical demonstration of the correct procedure for preparing, lighting and throwing both flares will now follow. Okay, both Firequick hand-thrown flares operate in the same fashion. We peel back the cover, we extend the cord, we light the cord and we throw the flare. So the procedure is we take hold of the flare, we peel the top cover back. You don't have to remove the cover in its entirety, just as long as you can get into the cord. Extend the cord out fully. We can now light the cord and throw the flare. Before we throw our hand-thrown flares, we want to identify where we want the flare to land. We never remove the cap until we are ready to throw the flare. We never remove the cap, extend the cord, and then put flares in our pocket, thinking we're going to make for a quicker firing operation further down the line. The cap is to stay on until we are ready to throw. So before we throw the flares, we are then going to look at our operational safety zone and ensure that our operational safety zone is clear. So we're looking at about a 40-foot safety zone for when we throw the flare. Our hand-thrown flares are also remote delayed ignition. The delayed ignition comes via this length of cord. When the cord is lit correctly, you will get 10 to 15 seconds. The correct way to light the cord is at the end. What you have to avoid is any type of crossover. If you cross the cord over, then the ignition could jump from the tip to further down the cord and you're going to reduce your time delay. So again, a full extension of the cord will give you your remote delayed ignition 10 to 15 seconds. Light the cord right at the tip. Okay, so we're going to start with our chubby flare here. We're going to remove the safety cap, remembering we don't remove the safety cap until we're ready to fire. Fully extend the cord. You're now ready to light and throw the flare. Big shot. So with both our hand-thrown flares, if the terrain allows and the situation dictates, they can be placed in position as well. They don't have to be thrown. Again, with the time delay, we have plenty of time to withdraw outside the danger zone. So just light the tip.